And Rob, how much complexity does all of this data add? I mean, Sarah talked about the amount of events that are going through the Microsoft services, and Adam talked about the uniqueness of each individual customer and different infrastructures. How much of a challenge does that pose to operating a SOC, or is it just a matter of taking off what you can chew first of all and then continuing to evolve and learn, as Adam mentioned earlier?
Sure, yeah, a bit of both. It's always sensible to start with a maturity plan and grow your maturity of investments in things like SOC or things like cyber technology. But in general, the SOC want lots of data, so they want lots of logs, turn lots of things on. A SOC will never want less data. So, in terms of that, a good SOC wants lots of data. So they're not really bothered by the data. It's the technology that might become expensive in that scenario that you've got to worry about, I guess. Turning too much stuff on and driving up too much of a bill is an issue, sure. But in terms of analyzing the data, there's loads of great tools to do that. There's loads of ways of doing it, but it's having the humans to interpret it that we think is the hardest bit in that picture. Same with XDR, there's loads of great technologies. It doesn't matter to us what EDR the customer's using, really. As long as they're using an EDR, and as I was talking previously, that often most cyber attacks do set off signals from existing deployed technology, whether it's firewalls or AV or EDR somewhere. It's just that no one's there looking at them. And that's the most frustrating thing to see, isn't it? That you have something in play and it did send an alert and no one looked at it and responded to it. And most attacks these days, the ransomware we see is set to go at 2 AM on Saturday morning, if it's UK, because they know no one's going to be around. They've had access for weeks and weeks, but they're going to trigger all the encryption and nasty stuff to run at 2 AM on a Saturday, because they know the IT is not around. And, so I guess that's, for us, it's like there's lots of technology out there, which is great, but take a roadmap view. You want to have these products, but you don't necessarily need them all at once. You may have them already, they're just maybe not used properly. There may be configuration you can apply to your cloud to make it work better and log things better, and also evaluate what you've currently purchased and what your current licenses provide. Because often we see people don't realize the value in the license they've bought or subscription they've bought, and they're using a little bit of it. And it's like, well, hang on, you could use this, this, and this. Therefore, you don't need any more products. So there's loads of things you can start off with that might not cost you anything, that are just configuration or using something you're not using, and then create a roadmap over a quarter, over 6 months, or over a year to improve your cyber posture.